Keeping it simple. Simplicity in the individuation process. Whether starting a business or pursuing a dream, the quest for greatness can often feel like standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness. The path ahead may seem daunting, filled with complexities and unknowns. Yet, the secret to navigating this wilderness lies in one simple truth. Keep it simple. Alchemical process of simplicity. Our minds, like skilled alchemists, transform complexity into simplicity. Alchemists were ancient scientists who believed they could turn base metals into gold. Similarly, by embracing simplicity, we can transform overwhelming challenges into achievable goals. Picture your journey as planting a seed. You must tend to it with care, patience, and consistency to see it flourish. Steps to simplify your life. Declutter your mind. Start with meditation or journaling to clear mental clutter. Break down tasks. Divide large tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Prioritize. Focus on the most critical tasks that align with your goals. Automate and delegate. Use technology and delegate tasks to free up mental space. So now, I want to talk briefly about how you can use all of these to your benefits by being obsessed with leveraging systems. Understand what systems mean. Understand how systems can optimize your effectiveness and efficiency. When you understand leverage and systems, you will definitely declutter your mind, break down tasks, prioritize, automate, and delegate. That is literally what leveraging will do, and building systems will do for you on how to simplify your life and how to break down complex, abstract tasks and ideas and topics and disciplines in your life. So always think about how can I give myself more leverage? How can I build systems to be more effective and efficient? Everything I do, everywhere I go, whatever I think about, whatever I want to create, whatever I want to design, whatever I want to write about, whatever I want to learn, I am obsessing myself. I am forcing myself to always learn. How can I build systems to leverage, to give me more leverage, to optimize my efficiency so I can become more effective? The more you do this, the more effective and efficient you will become in anything you do in life. Leverage systems. Don't do anything else without understanding and forcing yourself to acknowledge and understand leverage systems. How systems can give me more leverage. When you start doing that, you'll just start gliding, navigating through life. Not saying there won't be any obstacles, things won't be hard sometimes, there won't be any tribulations, trials and tribulations, but you won't experience as much. Romanticizing the process. To achieve something meaningful, you must romanticize the process. This means finding joy and purpose in every step, like a passionate dance. Each move should be intentional and filled with enthusiasm. Imagine the process as a dance, a rhythm that you must learn and internalize. This means finding joy and purpose in every step, like a passionate dance. Each move should be intentional. Do everything with intention. Be intentional in everything. If you're not intentional in everything you do, you're wasting your time. Just like if you're not building leverage and systems in everything you do, you pretty much are wasting your valuable time and resources. Because you could be more than likely, if not getting something done more swiftly, but you can be more effective in what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing if you're not effective in it. Somebody else who understands leverage and systems more than you do, they can be doing the exact same thing you're doing, but they can be way more effective. That's the point. So,
you crazy rabbit! I went out there risking my neck for you. What are you doing? Singing and dancing.
But I'm a tune. Tunes are supposed to make people laugh.
Sit down!
You don't understand. Those people needed to laugh.
Yeah, when they done laughing, they'll call the cops. That guy Angelo would rat on you for a nickel.
Not Angelo. He'd never turn me in.
Why? Because you made him laugh.
That's right. A laugh can be a very powerful thing. Why, sometimes in life, it's the only weapon we have.
Enthusiasm. Practice having enthusiasm when you do things. I'm a very enthusiastic person. Sometimes I can be very mellow. Sometimes I can be very chill. But with the inside of me, internally, I always have enthusiasm. Always. I find 98% of things in life funny. I have a very high sense of humor. And I can say I purposely do that sometimes. But smiling can play a trick on your brain when you're facing something really terrible or something very, very daunting or extremely hard situation. You know, experience the most craziest thing that could be happening to you, but you can always smile. And then when you do that,
this profound advice that I got from a 7-year-old. First loss, didn't have the best game, was throwing 2 interceptions. It was our rival, it was at home. I was just frustrated, as you can imagine. And after the game, I'm signing autographs and I'm signing her newspaper, and she's just grilling me with questions like, why are you so mad out there? Like, it's a game, what do you mean? And I was just, telling her that, I was playing bad, we were losing, all this just nonsense to her. And she goes, you need to be happy more. You need to smile more. And then she drew the smiley face on my hand after I gave her her pen back. And then I was like, it makes sense. There's literally studies about smile affecting your performance. Kobe Bryant would sit there on the bench like this, holding back his smile when he was down, because it tricks your brain into, producing more serotonin, which then leads to better performance. And I've wore it on my hand the rest of the year. We went undefeated.
His mental game is so important to how he handles himself. It allows him to lock in, gives him
and then when you do that, you're tricking your brain on on what your reality is, and then you can tend to experience and not react, but respond to the situation that you're facing in a more efficient and effective way. Try that. I know when I played football, and I know when I was on the field, or I was doing very intense training sessions, and I felt like I was about to die. Or sometimes when I'm running 100-yard sprints in 110-degree heat, especially when I'm living in Alabama. Alabama, I live in LA now, but Alabama, it's very, very humid out there. When it gets hot out there, it's extremely, extremely humid. The heat out here is more dry heat, but in Alabama, it feels like you're in an oven. And as I'm doing these sprints, as I'm doing this intense training, I'll just keep going. It works. So imagine this process even as a dance, a rhythm that you must learn and internalize. But to dance, you must take the first step. And that first step must be simple. Simplicity is the spark that ignites your passion, the thread that weaves your story. How can we romanticize the process? We can romanticize the process by visualizing success. Create a vivid mental image of your goal. Use your imagination. I haven't really talked that much about imagination.
In a world of pure imagination.
Use your imagination. I haven't really talked that much about imagination on this channel. I've written about it, but I have not spoke about it, I don't believe, on this channel as of yet. But your imagination is the most powerful thing that you have been gifted. You have to learn how to use it. You cannot be creative without a strong imagination. You just can't. You have to spend time with your imagination. Allow your imagination to flow. I don't want to get too deep into that because I want to keep this simple as of right now. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and reward your progress. This is something that I wrestle with because I understand the idea of celebrating small wins and acknowledging and rewarding your progress. I understand the idea, but I wrestle with the action of celebrating wins. So I believe this is why celebrating small wins can be more effective. Acknowledge the things that you have done. Acknowledge the progress. Acknowledge your progress that you are doing, that you're gliding through. Reward yourself. Yes. But don't get carried away with it. And do not get caught up in it. Acknowledge it, reward yourself, and move on. I will even say go to the extent of what I do is acknowledge it, reward, forget. Acknowledge, reward, forget. Because I am a very firm believer that the past does not matter anymore. Whether good or bad, it's the past. I don't believe in getting caught up in the past, so I don't want to get caught. I know how dangerous getting caught up in the past can be. And I know how effective how remembering your future can be. And I know how effective how keeping it moving, staying in motion, keeping the momentum going, finding your rhythm, keeping the momentum going can be effective. And I don't really want anything to, to affect that. I don't want anything to diminish that, even a little. I don't want anything that can possibly diminish that progress, diminish the momentum that I'm going, diminish the motion. I don't want to get involved in it. And I believe that celebrating small wins is in a way of you sort of focusing on the past a little bit. Because it's something that you have done. It's something that you did. So I don't want to get too caught up in that. I was like, yeah, I did something great. It doesn't matter anymore. It was the past. Now I'm focused on doing something better. It's not about, I'm always a firm believer. The phrase that I use and when I talk about, it doesn't matter where you've been, it's where you're going. Or it doesn't matter where you've been, it's what you're becoming. It doesn't matter where you've been, it doesn't matter what you're going. It doesn't matter what you did or done, it's what you are doing. So that goes for positivity and that goes for negativity as well. It goes for both. Because you can get too caught up on these great, phenomenal things you did. And then you're getting so caught up in that, you're putting all that energy into that. And then so what about the rest of your life? What about this second? What about today? So don't get too caught up on what you did and where you've been. So use it to your advantage, yes, for learning, and to keep yourself going. Use it for fuel, so you can use, our brains will feel good when it's been proved, when the evidence has been shown. So when you're doing something, when you did something great, you have the evidence to prove to yourself that you have done it. So now you don't even necessarily have to believe in yourself. So this is the thing, believing in yourself is a bit overrated, because if you've already done it, if you have the evidence, you don't have to believe in your damn self. You have the evidence. You're proving it to yourself now. So now you really don't really have any excuse, because it's like you don't have to believe in yourself. Here's the evidence right here. I've already done it. So keep doing it. And this is what I would say is that's the great thing about the past. Or probably the only great thing about the past is you can learn from it. You can learn from your experiences. Listen to your experiences, which is listening to yourself, which is listening to your experiences. Use that as evidence to keep going, to prove to yourself for you to keep going. Now you definitely know. Stay curious. Stay curious is a consistent learning process. Staying curious is living. If you're not staying curious, you're not living. I believe if you're not staying curious, you're living in the past. Really, you're pretty much like a robot. You're pretty much like a dead robot. You're pretty much not alive. Your imagination is dead. Your creativity is diminished. If you're not curious, you're not discovering, you're not exploring. You have to be curious to discover something, and you have to discover something to explore something. And so if you lack curiosity, you're not doing any of those things. So that's why I say not being curious is not living. So it's really just that simple. Mastering the art of storytelling. Mastering the art of storytelling means persuading yourself and others. Convince yourself that you can transcend your current reality and be capable of greatness. Show others this truth through your actions, inviting them into your narrative. So, to master all of this, you must keep it, again, simple. Simplicity is the key that unlocks the door to your true potential. It makes the daunting seem achievable and the complex appear clear. You will gain clarity, more inner peace, more clarity. So when you begin with keeping it simple, you build a solid foundation to support your growth and fulfillment. When you show others this truth through your actions and you're inviting them into your narrative, what I mean by that is being authentic. Your reputation. Your authenticity is your reputation, and your reputation is your brand. But it starts with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be truthful. And when more you're honest with yourself, the more truthful you are, the more dignity you have, the more you will be able to prove to others and prove to yourself that you are a trustworthy individual by living proof. You are not living two different lives, you're not living two different lifestyles. You're not a hypocrite. Your actions come right before your words. You are living what you speak. Your actions are your words. And this is your story. How you live your life is your story. So when you master the art of storytelling, the way you're living your life through your storytelling will persuade others, and it will gravitate, and others will gravitate to you. Others will flock to you. This is why I believe that gaining people's trust is the most profitable thing you can do. Because the more people trust you, the more they will gravitate to you, and the more they will support you, and the more they will want to listen to you and buy into your story, because they simply trust you. Through storytelling, tell the truth. And truth will be your story. And with that, you will persuade yourself by proving to yourself of what you're doing through your through your actions and to others. So, creating a compelling story. This is what we're pretty much talking about. Creating a compelling story. A compelling story serves as the animus or anima, which is the inner guiding force that connects us to the self. In Jungian psychology, which is the animus and anima, which represents the unconscious masculine and feminine sides of a person. Jungian psychology, which is founded by the great Carl Jung. In Jungian psychology, it explores the deeper layers of the unconscious mind, including the collective unconscious, the archetypes, in the process of individuation, simplifying the chaotic elements of our psyche, which creates an emotional resonance that drives us forward. So this narrative is our myth, our path to the individuation, which is a night beacon guiding us through the darkest hours. Consider your habits. Consider your habits as the bricks that build the foundation of your life. These habits are born from the stories you tell yourself, shaping your identity, actions, and destiny. Direct the storytelling energy toward your dreams and goals. So use it to start, navigate, and master any challenge you face. You are your habits. The better your habits are, the better you become. The worse your habits are, the worse you become. So if you're a slave to bad habits, you're just a bad person. It's just that simple. If you are committed to great habits, you are committed to excellence. And if you're committed to excellence, every single day you're just going to be better, 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 and better, and better. And your life is going to unfold, and more prosperity and wealth and resources and capital and love and creativity and abundance is going to flourish in your life, in your reality. It's going to become from the intangible to the tangible. You'll be holding a wealth of abundance in your hand. That will be your world. But it starts with you. It starts with each good habit. One habit at a time, layer by layer, brick by brick. It's just that simple. What could be the steps to craft your story? Identify your core values. Identify your core values, define your mission, articulate your vision. Identify, define, articulate. Identity, define, articulate. How can we identify our core values? What principles guides our actions? By define your mission. What is your purpose or your ultimate goal? Articulate your vision. How do you see your future unfolding? With all three of these, you have to be specific. You have to be direct. You have to be straightforward. In order for that to happen, you have to be honest and truthful with yourself. So be authentic when you are digging deep by identifying your core values, defining your mission, and articulating your vision. Who's to say that these cannot be refined the more you grow? In time, the better you become. You can refine these. I believe you can. I believe you have one purpose, you have one vision, and there's so many different ways how you can advance those things. So spend some time with yourself, dig deep into yourself. What are your core values? What are your principles? What matters to you? What do you believe in? What do you not believe in? What do you want? What do you not want? You have to look at it on both sides of the spectrum. What's evil to you? What's good to you? What's bad? What's good? So, yes, think about these things. Ask yourself these questions. It doesn't have to be complicated. It may seem complicated because you probably haven't done it, or these thoughts come into your mind, but you don't want to dabble and spend time with it. You don't have to know the answer to these questions either. You don't have to know the answer to every question. Just ask yourself, these questions. Asking the question is simple. When we make it complicated, and we fool ourselves that we have to have the answer to the question. In acting, when I portray a character, when I dabble into a character or role, I immerse myself fully into a character. It may be hard at first, maybe, but I deconstruct the abstract and complexities of embodying a character, of jumping into another skin of a human being, of embodying a soul, by just keeping it simple. Just ask a question. I just ask questions. I ask questions in my mind all day long. What is this person's experience of this world? What is this person's perspective of this world? What color does this person like? What kind of shoes does this person have? How does this person wear their hair? Does this person believe in God? Does this person worship the devil? What is this person's perspective on evil? What is this person's perspective on good? Things like that. Simple things. What is this person's habits? What was this person's relationship with their mother, with their father? Does this person have any siblings? It just goes on and on and on. It's asking questions, and I don't even know the answer to any of them. And I'm not even trying to figure out the answers to any of them. I just live, and I just let these questions flourish, and then the answers, they come. They come naturally. Do that to yourself. Start asking yourself questions that you don't know the answer to. Ask yourself questions that you are afraid to answer. Figure out questions that you never even thought to even ask yourself. You're going to be, the more you do that, the deeper and deeper and deeper you're going to be digging. And the more simple you're going to be able to explore yourself. And the more you're going to be able to explore your inner self, the more clarity you will have in the world. And then the better your decisions will become. And then the better you'll be able to create systems to leverage, to optimize your success, and for you to be more effective and efficient in life. Do it. Ask yourself simple questions. Start from there. This is another thing that I mean by starting with self. This relates to my next idea, the next section, the path to individuation. So this narrative becomes our myth. Our myth to individuation. Individuation, which is a concept by Carl Jung. Individuation is the process of becoming aware of oneself, integrating different aspects of the personality into a harmonious whole. Steps to achieve individuation: self-reflection, embrace your shadow, seek balance. Self-reflection. Regularly assess your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Self-regulation. Don't be regulated by the external world. Dig deep. Regulate yourself. Self-regulation. No, this is another part. This supports my idea, my phrase, my quote, the book that I'm writing. Start with self. Self-regulate. Self-regulate. Thoughts, emotions, and actions. Keep yourself in check. Embrace your shadow. And this is my favorite because it's overlooked. And a lot of people are afraid to do this. Acknowledge and integrate the darker parts of your personality. This supports this is one of the reasons why I'm such a huge fan of Batman. And I believe that Batman is the greatest superhero to have ever lived. And I don't want to go too deep into this because I will more than likely do a video on this, but it's more of a philosophical reasoning of why I'm such a huge fan of Batman. I believe this Superman is too self-ordained, you know? He doesn't really have a choice to be Superman. He doesn't really have a choice to be good. He's just good. But Batman, there's a lot of power in choices. There's a lot of power in having the freedom to choose. I always say that not doing bad things does not make you a good person. Having the freedom to do something bad and not doing it and still deciding to do good makes you a good person. The story of Batman, he witnessed his parents getting killed, I believe age 7 or 11, I can't remember which one. He witnessed his parents getting killed. The most evil thing that a kid can probably experience, getting their parents being murdered right in front of their eyes, aside from a kid being touched or whatever. Anyway, Batman experienced that. He decided to not be the victim of his story. He decided to be a hero of his story. So what he did was, he said, I am going to use what I experienced to become the greatest human being that I possibly can become. I am going to push myself beyond my limits. And that's exactly what he did. He pushed himself beyond limitation. The Batman story is definitely the story of good and evil. The choice between good and evil. It is the choice between hero, victim. No matter what you're going through in life, no matter what you're experiencing, you have the choice, the freedom of choice to choose whether you're going to be a victim of your story or going to be the hero of your story. It's just that simple. If you're already coming up with a bunch of excuses of why you're the victim, you've already lost. Okay, you're the victim, you're not the hero, so just shut up. Don't act like you're the hero. You're a victim, you're a loser, you're a failure, you're whatever. You're on the evil side. You're not a creator, you're a destroyer. I don't care what you went through. You're gonna play the victim role. That's what you involved in yourself in. It's not. There is no in between with this. It's either it's either this side or this side. That's it. So yeah, that is the reason why I'm a really huge fan of Batman, because he experienced the most evil thing that a child can experience, and he became the greatest superhero ever. He became the ultimate human being. He became the Übermensch. Übermensch means overman. That is a term that was by Friedrich Nietzsche. Seek balance. You will strive for harmony between your inner and outer worlds. When you do these things, you will have a balance, a harmonious between your inner world and the outer world. And this is, again, it's going to give you more clarity, and it's going to help you to navigate through life. I'm not too opposed to multitasking, but there is a thin line between it. It definitely can lead to confusion. You do need to focus solely on something. Will say is that focus on one vision, focus on what you want to achieve or what you want to accomplish. But understand, there are so many ways to advance a vision. So don't get too caught up in one thing. Believe that you can do different things at a time, and you can find a connection between those things. Use leverage, build systems that incorporates different things, that can optimize your efficiency. So you're only one person. You're doing so many different, you're multitasking, and it's very, very possible that you're not getting anything done. But when you build systems to your leverage that will help you to achieve different tasks at once. So use your mind, use your creativity, your imagination to build systems that can do so many different things for you, that measures up to the optimization of your vision. You want to eliminate as many things that you can that is going to add up to confusion, and it's going to stress you out. Now, here's the thing. here's the kickback on this idea when I say focus on one thing at a time. Confusion sometimes is good. Being stressed is sometimes good. I challenge that idea. Why? Because when you're confused and you're stressed, it's a pure indicator factor of a proven point that you are doing something. I'm not always going to not say that you keep things simple, that you're not going to be confused and stressed out. The pure fact that you have made the attempt to do something complicated, or that you have decided to attack an abstract idea, or you have made the attempt to be involved in a very complex discipline, you can be a bit confused and stressed out. This is human nature. But the whole idea is to train yourself to deconstruct complexity, to deconstruct the abstract nature of a very, very complicated discipline. That's the whole idea. So you may be confused and stressed out at first, but that's good. It's good. Challenge yourself to become unconfused. Challenge yourself to have more clarity. Challenge yourself to be calm in a stressful situation. And if you have to focus on one thing at a time when you're looking at something, looking at an equation, or you're reading a very complicated book, this is what I mean by focusing on one thing at a time. Just concentration. When you're brushing your teeth, just concentrating on brushing your teeth sometimes. You just have to just focus on just the motion of how you're brushing your teeth, why you're brushing your teeth. Intentional. Being intentional. Paying attention to detail. This is what I mean. All this stuff goes into the whole point of why you should focus on one thing at a time. So when you're reading this huge book, you might become stressed or confused at first if you're reading this book. Or you might become overwhelmed, or it could be terrifying. But keeping it simple, focusing on one thing at a time, open the book, read one sentence. It starts with one thing at a time. Read one sentence. Focus on that one word. Focus on that sentence. Focus on the title of the book. Before you even open the book, focus on the title. Why did this author write this book? What was the author's intention behind writing this book? How was the author feeling while writing this book? What does this book mean? Why does this book even exist? Why? What? When? Where? How? Who? Ask yourself these questions, and then as you're reading, ask yourself these questions. If you're going across something that doesn't make sense, stop. Relax, chill, think about it, write the sentence, Google it. Don't be so caught up on the results. I gotta finish the book, I gotta know what this book means, I gotta understand this book, I gotta, etc. And then you do all that, you're just not being focused on it. That's what I mean by focusing on one thing at a time. Okay, limit distractions. I love this one. Create an environment conducive to focus and productivity. What I mean by conducive it means making a certain situation or outcome likely or possible. This is what I mean by leveraging systems, optimizing. There's a book called The Atomic Habits. It talks a lot about this. The Atomic Habits talks about leverage and systems, leveraging systems. It even talks about how habits doesn't really mean anything. Well, they mean something, but they're not that important as we think they are. It's the systems. It's gaining leverage. We gain leverage through these great systems that we build with ourselves, and as we get smarter and wiser, we can refine our systems. As the technology that we gain, we can create better, sustainable systems. when you want to, if you're in a disciplinary activity, or you are involved in something that you want to accomplish or master or whatever, your environment has a lot to do with how you're going to be success. I mean, your environment is going to have a lot to do with how you achieve. Your environment is in alignment with your success. So when you create an environment that serves the purpose of you achieving something, this is going to determine how productive you're going to become, and how unproductive you will be. Be creative, use your imagination, and think about, how can I set up my environment that's going to have me partake in this discipline subconsciously. So, for instance, say you want to go to the gym. Say you have a problem going to the gym. What can you do if you have a problem going to the gym? Learn a very simple system. What you can do is get your shoes, get your gym shoes, get your shorts, get your t-shirt, whatever. When you first wake up in the morning, before you go to sleep, put your shoes, your shirt, your pants right there, right beside your bed. As soon as you wake up, just practice putting your gym clothes on. Just practice putting your gym clothes on. Get yourself into the mind. Dress like you're about to go to the gym, even if you don't go to the gym. That right there is the result. You haven't achieved that yet because you have problems going to the gym. You're building yourself small habits. You're keeping it simple. Just keep it simple. The problem with people when they try to achieve something that they cannot achieve or are having problems doing it is because they're so focused on results. They're so focused on the achieving part and not focusing on how to even get there, how to even start. Gain that habit for a little while. Just putting on your gym clothes. Visualize yourself in these gym clothes working out at the gym. Keep doing it. And then, after a while, just start going to the gym. And what I mean by start going to the gym, just ride to the gym or walk to the gym or whatever. Go inside. You may not feel like working out, that's fine. Walk out. Who cares? Walk out. Get into that practice of doing that. Dabble with that for a little while. Then after a while, get on a treadmill. Just walk. Walk on the treadmill. Step by step by step. Just do simple things like that. If you're a writer, you have a problem writing. You have a problem writing every day. You want to write every day, you're a writer? Have a journal right beside your bed. Start with these things the first thing in the morning. The first thing you do. So you have a problem writing, so you wake up in the morning, your journal is staring there right at the front of your face. Open your journal, look at it. Open your journal, look at it, and just stare at the blank piece of paper. After a while, take your pen or pencil, just write one sentence. Just write one sentence. Do that every single day. First wake up in the morning, just practice writing a sentence every single day. The sentence doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to, I don't care. Just write a sentence every single day. When you first wake up in the morning as a writer. You want to be a singer, you're singing, you're having problems practicing, you're singing, you're not as disciplined. First wake up, work on your vocal work. First wake up, just hum. Before you even open your mouth. First wake up in the morning, yawning is part of a singing exercise. Yawn. Ah, yawn. You first wake up in the morning. You're brushing your teeth, hump. You're in the shower, hump. Yawn. Little stuff like that. Small little tiny habits. It goes a long way. You become addicted to it. You become obsessed with it. And then you can reward yourself a little bit. You can track the progress that you made. It's doing those small things is better than not doing anything and just staying in your mind and just being like, oh, I gotta do this. And years go by and never doing damn things to even achieve that. And then it started with an intent, and then it started with action. Small, simple things, and then you build on top of that throughout years. Then you set your timers on when you do these things. Well, my timer went off. Bam. I don't care what's going on. I have to stay focused on this. I have to do this. This is what I got to do. I'm concentrating on this. I don't want nobody talking to me. I don't want nobody saying anything to me. I don't want nobody coming around my corner. Like, this matters right here, right now. Practice that. You owe it to yourself. Your future self is going to cost you if you do not discipline yourself to great habits, to great systems. Inner clarity. Inner clarity is crucial for maintaining simplicity and focus. It involves understanding your true desires, strengths, and weaknesses. So steps to gain inner clarity. Meditation, journaling, seek feedback. Meditation. Spend time in quiet reflection to connect with your inner self. This is a big thing. Just sit down every day and just think. And just concentrate. And just focus. There is an exercise that you can do. And I was reading this book on concentration. And the book talked about one exercise you can do to really enhance your concentration every single day. Between 5 to 15 minutes. Get a chair, sit down in the chair, look at the doorknob. Just look at the doorknob and just look at it for 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how long you got. Whatever, just do it. At least for 5 minutes. Just look at the doorknob. Don't do anything else. Think about what your experiences were with that doorknob. Do that every single day, so and witness your concentration enhance. Journaling. I talked about this before. Write down your thoughts and feelings to gain insight. For writers, this can go with your exercise of doing this every single morning when you first wake up. Carry a notebook around and always just write. Write whatever you're feeling. Write what your thoughts are, no matter how evil they could be or how they scare you. Write it down. It's better for you to translate, for you to distribute it from your body onto paper. It's better for you to acknowledge your evil. It's better for you to acknowledge your darker side, your shadow, than to just neglect it. Because that's when it becomes a problem. So acknowledge it, and then you can even take it a step further by writing about it. This will help you to become a better writer. This will just help you to become a better human being. This will help you to gain more clarity. We don't need therapy. We can be our own therapist. It just depends on how much work are we willing to do. Overcome your fears. You will overcome your fears by doing this. You will grow by doing this. So I mean, this. So in the symphony of life, you can be the conductor of your fate. Start with a simple melody and build it passionately and let it crescendo into a masterpiece. Keep it simple, stay in motion, find your rhythm, and keep the momentum going. This will be the alchemical key to transformation, turning the lade of complexity into the gold of clarity. You will align with your inner narrative and let your story guide you toward wholeness and self-actualization. For a deeper dive into this topic, you can check out my full article that I left in the YouTube comment. And I thank you very much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed this video, if this really helped you out, please let me know in the comments. If there's anything that you want to add to this, or your ideas, your thoughts on simplicity, please let me know in the comments. I like to learn so much different things. Whatever I learn, I share it, I write about it, I do a video on it. I've always knew about simplicity, how important it was, but I wanted to write about it. And I wanted to write about it, I wanted to do a video on it, because I want to explore it even deeper. And I want to build with it. I want to use it to my advantage. I want to use it for leverage. And this video is a witness for that. Thank you so much. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we will be back soon. Have a great day.